I'm going to go right to the back. Look at the detail here with these wee wings. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode on Dreamscape. So you'll be able to see behind me here that I've taken my opportunity to come and see the Moulsdale Foundation in Bishopbriggs, located just outside of Glasgow. So this isn't a normal Dreamscape episode, this will be a bit of a tour around all the cars that you can see are behind me. Loads of interesting stuff here. So settle in with me here and join me at the Moulsdale Foundation and I'll get around all the cars, and remember, like and subscribe. As you come in, first thing that you see, I'm going to go back up and see it now. So anybody that watches all kind of automotive television films and whatnot is going to recognise this guy here. Interesting story. There's loads of motorbikes around that side, but we'll get to them on the way out. I'm going to just make my way around everything that I think is interesting. I'm not going to look at everything because I don't find it all interesting, but I'll do what I can. And unfortunately, I'm recovering from a viral infection that I've had, and my nose and my throat and my voice isn't quite normal, so I apologise if I'm not coming across as usual. But first thing that I see here is these kind of motorbike KTMs, different types of bikes that look as if they've been used in those desert races. So loads, and you can see here they've got the Jeep and everything. Obviously this is like their supply car, and they travelled with a tent and everything, and they had to sleep in between rounds or whatever in the desert, so it's pretty interesting. We'll get to the good bit, we'll get to the supercars in a minute. It's good to see like there's quite a lot of older style rally cars here, but because we're building our track car at the moment, it's quite interesting to see some of the setups that they've got, and like some of the brands of seats and everything are still here. This one's got Colin McRae's name on the side of it, so but you can see Sparco, still OMP, all the stuff like that we're using now still there from old times. Loads of info here. Look at this Subaru, man. That Subaru is in like absolutely mint condition. The paint on it is immaculate, and it's got like all the rally like front lights and everything. The roll cage, it just looks so good. All of these cars, to be fair, they keep telling us to seal up jinx in this room because everything's mint. Here's an Escort Cosworth one. And then we'll move over, but there's some older stuff here. Check this. This is pretty special looking. You can't really see from here, but inside the engine's in the back. Sparco Evo seats. Taking quite a bit of inspiration from all of these really, really well built race cars. Oh, I've just seen a Mini. Wait till we see this. So this Mini here, so obviously I've went straight to the Mini because our track car's actually in the car park at the moment. I'm trying to take it around as many places as I can to show off the new livery, but this is a properly set up. It looks like a Mini challenge car, but it's got like, as far as we would like to go, this is the type of thing that we want to end up with eventually. So it's obviously got the full roll cage, wrap round bucket seat. It's only got one bucket seat. The front wheels are like cambered like this. But that's the type of setup that we eventually want to end up with at the end of all this. And when we enter the car into the race event in September, that's the type of spec that we're going to have. That's a later model, that's an F56, but still, they're similar. We're just, before I leave the Mini, I was just standing getting photos and stuff there just to try and get as much inspiration as I can. I'm over in the corner looking at these Fords here, so these are obviously all super rare, factory spec, probably worth thousands and thousands and thousands. It's absolutely pristine condition, not even a stone chip. Probably never even been driven. Same Sierra over there. And then you've got these rally ones. Mental, man. These RS200s they've like, the paint is more immaculate than a brand new car getting picked up from the factory. Incredible, by the way. There's not, I mean, I don't know if it's been repainted or whatever, but it looks mental. Just look at these from the front. I don't think I've ever seen one of them in the flesh. That's mental, man. Just so we've got a green Focus Mark II Focus RS here. This was like, when I was growing up, this was like what I wanted. I've never achieved it, never got one. And now they're climbing in money, but this one here, this will probably be worth about 50 grand, maybe 60 grand. Unmolested, untouched example. Lux Pack 2 as well with the black Alcantara seats in the screen. I can't get round the other side, they've got it barriered off, but it is in pristine condition. If you try and get one of them, you're not getting it on Auto Trader, but if you try and get one of them, you'll probably spend 50 or 60k for an example as clean as that. Obviously not the biggest fan of older cars. My dad's about somewhere, he'd probably be able to tell us a bit more about these, but let's get a look anyway. Video in a video. Look how clean that engine bay is, that's absolutely sensational, isn't it? You couldn't get your Polo engine bay that clean, could you? You've kind of got to wonder how much they're paying somebody to maintain these. Oh my God, there's an RS500. So, matte black Focus RS500. These are actually gloss black underneath that wrap, by the way. This has got the red leather interior, look at this. Mate, that is sensational, isn't it? Aye. Wild, man. And then just some more immaculate examples. This is where all the clean example RSs are. I love the white one. So if you're looking for an unmolested, low mileage, clean example of a Focus RS, you're going to need to hit up Mr. Moulsdale, because this is where they all are. Honestly, the matte black. I remember this was Ford bringing out this RS500 in matte black. I remember it being one of the first things I ever seen in matte, and thinking, I'm not sure about that at the beginning. But now that you see it, and now I've got a satin car as well, but you see it and it looks brilliant. So mean looking. The blue, white, all the different colours. It's funny seeing a Focus RSs like this, because you're used to seeing them with like blue with black wheels, green with black wheels, white with black wheels, roof wrapped, stupid wings on them, shooting flames, generally causing trouble. But in here they're just sitting quietly. It's a lot for my eyes to take in. Everything that I see just gets better. But we've got an Escort Cosworth Monte Carlo here, and it's in like a kind of plummy purple colour. The wheels, it's obviously got this famous wing on it. Look at the bonnet vents, you can see right through them. I wonder how many miles that's done. I'm going to guess 5 or something. It just drove from where it was to here. No, in fact, they probably trailered it here, Jank. Definitely trailered it here. So, M4 GTS, this one's like, it's no satin black, it's like a darker satin grey than the Magno in it. It's like a dark satin grey, and it's got all the carbon orange accents in the wheels. I can't get close to it, but I can see the roll cage in the back. It's like kind of powder coated gold as well. You're going to get me demonetised swearing on my channel. It's lovely. Ryan's getting it absolutely. Ryan's getting it stinking off the security guy here, man. Saying I brought my Wayne with me. Right, back to normal business. Let's get a look at some of these BMWs. So E46 M3s. This one's a convertible one, absolutely pristine condition as well. Look at, for all you BM nuts, you'll like this. Inception. So, honestly, I might get a new M3 one day, maybe, but I'm still not 100% sold. I've had 2 BMs in the past and I've got rid of them all pretty quickly. I've just walked past the Porsche, so I'm going to reverse here and then I'm going to turn the camera around. Loads of different, so it's going from old to newer here. This is one of my favourite models personally. And then you've obviously got the 911 here, the kind of newer one. I know there's like 991.2s and 992.6s and all this. I'm not clued up on it. Somebody in the comments about to tell me. But aye, sensational looking. This looks different on the camera, the colour. It's actually like a kind of mustard colour. Oh, this is a Targa model. I do like them. It's obviously get the wee roof that kind of tucks back, but it's lovely. It's a really, really nice shade of blue as well. I can't help but think that this is in the collection just for a bit of fun, right? Nissan R35 GTR. It's actually got the newer Recaro buckets and that in it, and I'm going to guess it's high power. Really, really nice. I like GTRs. I know they're going to be money pits, especially if you're buying an older one, but serious car. So we've got the TTRS. In fact, is it even a TTRS, that? TTRS. So the famous old guy on YouTube, Arthur, pretty sure this is his old car. North of 1,000 horsepower. Quite understated though. Recaro pole position seats. Obviously it's just nice plain black with like the wee hood scoops and everything. Ultimate sleeper build if it's over 1,000 horsepower. You can see the water meth tank in the back. A couple of really clean R8s here, manuals. You can tell this one's a V8 and I think this one next to it's a V10, but they're in a quite particular spec. So you've got the kind of baby, very, very baby blue with the white interior. And you've got this kind of lilac colour convertible, so that's a Spider. You can tell that they're just like launch editions or something, like really, really nice, tidy examples. Look undriven. I've not seen a stone chip in a car since I got here. It's incredible. Right, so I'm only really covering things that I think are worth covering. I'm not a fan of really old cars, and I'm not going to pretend that I know what I'm talking about, because I don't. So let's just cover all of these different bikes that are here. I don't know exactly what they all are, but there's millions and millions of them. There's some Ducatis and whatnot in here. Aye. I know we're really showing our age here. Like, there's all these old cars behind me and I've got absolutely no idea. It reminds me of the Transport Museum. Look at all these, man. British Superbike ones. Imagine owning all these bikes, imagine this. Look at that, man. MG. Old Vauxhall Mantas. It's going to be too much to go through all of these bikes in the time that we've got, but you can see the calibre of bikes. So obviously a big fan of Ducati. I mean, doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that I think there's every single Ducati that's ever been made here. So I can't get into them, but we've got Clio V6 there. You've got the Clio Cup, the McLaren RS Trophy, and we've got a couple of Lancias here. Honestly, the cleanest examples I've ever seen. This is incredible in here. Honestly, those Lancia rally cars. If you've not seen the film that's Lancia versus Audi, when Lancia were still trying to do rear-wheel drive and Audi had brought out the Quattro, then go and watch that film, because it is a sensational film for a petrol head. Aye, so got wee collection of Japanese kind of rally style cars here. We've got Evo, older Evo. It's an Evo 5, isn't it? 6? Oh, listen, I'll tell you everything about German cars, right, but that's where my education stops. Tell us what it is in the comments. Evo 5, 6, Tommy Mac edition. The 3-door, the P1s. So the Pro Drive version of that, those P1s, that's the YouTube video that Jamie for Officially Gas put up. And it was the guy, and they were out driving the Pro Drive car, and it had the anti-lag and the single paddle shift on the steering wheel and everything. Bonkers cars. More bikes here, so that was obviously all Ducatis over there behind me, but this is Hondas and MV Agustas and everything. Loads of Fireblades and everything at the back. Kawasaki Ninjas, Fireblades, British Superbikes, all sorts there. But we've got a whole collection of MV Agustas at the front here. Cooper motorcycles that we buy the Suzuki's from, they are a MV dealer. And every time I'm in and I see the MVs, I think, oh, I'd like to own one of them, but they're pretty weird and expensive and seem difficult to work on, like Suzuki's are dead easy. There's this matte black Fireblade. This is a CBR 1000 RRR, 3Rs. Every time they make it more mental, they just add another R. Sitting in its crate, look at Petronas bikes. So many rare bikes here, man. It's mental to think that this collection, how much it's worth. Absolutely mental. There's loads of F1 cars here, right? For different years and whatnot. But you need to tell me what auctions you need to be involved in and what people you need to know to be able to get stuff like this, right? Let's get a look at this. I say this every time I see old racing cars, but they just look scary, man. I would have hated to be inside that. So we're at starting at the Ferrari section now. So we've got old to new, again, just a kind of random collection, right? But look at the colour in this cream F12. I was just saying to the boys there, it's funny because Daily Driven Exotics have got a twin turbo F12 and they've got the turbos sticking out the bonnet, so you can imagine the length of the bonnet, but they've got the turbos sticking out like right here. And when you see a car as clean as that, you think to yourself, they've absolutely ruined a really nice car, but I get why they've done it. But this looks like it's got no miles on it and it's a unique colour. So these are kind of older. This is before they changed over to like the new kind of design language, but these are minted. You can't really see it in this camera, but it's got a big wing on it as well. It's pure like old, like Miami spec, man, blue convertible roof, brown interior. Look at the stance on this, they've got that sitting perfect. When I was younger, that's how I remember looking at a Ferrari and thinking at the time, like a Ferrari 360 or like an F430 when they started bringing them out. That's what I remember thinking, wow, but now look at the Ferraris that we've got. But aye, sensational cars, man. They're so long, man. It's a 550. Anybody that's seen Bad Boys, the original Bad Boys, will know that car. We can't come and not have a 5 minutes of Lotus appreciation here. Let's have a look at some of the Lotuses. I'm going to guess those tyres have never been used. Mental looking thing. Proper, just, yeah, looked like a track car right at the factory. And older ones, obviously. The yellow looks different on camera, but it's like a kind of deep yellow. This is the one that was in the James Bond film, and it was underneath the water. Cool to see them in person. You never ever get to see these kind of mint condition. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen one in real life. It will cover the McLaren section because obviously love McLaren, right? But kind of array of different ones. But my eyes are always drawn to the racing ones, like the GT4 cars, because I just think they're cool. And daily driven exotics kind of give you that, like, start like showing you that these things exist and they look so cool. Unmistakable McLaren lights, having the best looking designs. They might not be the most reliable cars in the world, but fantastic looking there. Look at that race car, man. That is some serious stuff, the old race cars. It's so wide and low, man. As in America, daily driven exotics were explaining you can pick one of these like used GT4 cars up for $70,000, which is crazy. 750, isn't it? 720. Oh, here we go. The GOAT. Check this, man. Senna. That's probably worth about over $1 million anyway, for sure. Absolutely stunning. I love the grey and the silver with the orange. Random portion at the end here. But just look at that spread of McLarens there, man. Some serious cars. Here's a C63 AMG. Just looking at the info here on the screen. So we've got a CLK63 Black Series as well. We'll get that in a minute. I was just looking to see what version this black one was, but they don't have it. So this is the Zeno Magno Matte Black. So the black colour of the paint code that I've got in my A45. It's beautiful, man. So there's a yellow stripe there for what the addition is, but you can see on the seats as well. I find it hard enough to look after satin grey. That's why I didn't get a satin black car, because I think it would be even harder to look after. The grey hides the dirt a wee bit. And then we've got the CLK 63 AMG. This is like holy grail Mercedes. Wee carbon ducts here. That is crazy, that car, man. Absolutely crazy. There's more mad mercs here. I'm going to get them in a wee second. Loads of Black Series cars here, so I'm just going to walk along them. I can't get in the back, so I'm just going to walk along them, right? But these are all Black Series cars at the front here. SLS, SLS, and this one's got its gull wing doors up. Again, I've never stood next to one of these properly in the flesh like this. I'm surprised he's not got an SLS AMG Black Series, to be honest, in here. I was kind of hoping to see one of them, but I mean, I guess these will have to do. But just look at the doors. That is mad, isn't it? We're getting into the bracket of cars that we love, the newer ones. So we've got the AMG GTR Pros, AMG GTR Black Series, all sorts. Have a look. This is in Solar Beam Yellow. This is one of my favourite colours. Let me tell you this, when I have the money, I'm getting an AMG GTR in Solar Beam Yellow. Definitely. It's another version of Magno paint. It's green. I like it to look at, but again, I probably wouldn't want to own it, but it's... These matte colours in the AMGs are so popular in Mercedes. Look at the size of that, man. It's like an actual shark, like the length of the bonnet. I remember I was at a dealership in Warrington looking at something, and there was a AMG GTR in satin grey, the same colour as mine, and I sat in it, and it just feels like you're like stuck, you're inside the car because you're so low and behind that big long bonnet. Definitely a car that's in a price bracket that I'd be able to move into next, so that is one of the ones that's on the list. Right, we're getting into the newer Porsches now. Again, loads of 911s. There's a GT3 RS at the end there, and there's like one of the off-road Porsches at the end. We'll get a look at these. Love this colour, that orange. Just get the roll cage and everything in it. Serious colour, this. I always remember seeing them with the white with the red and the white with the yellow and everything. GT3, and then the Holy Grail one, GT3 RS. So everybody that's watched the last video from Knock Hill, so this guy's got this here in a collection, like this is worth an absolute fortune. Definitely don't want to be driving it. And then on the flip side of that, you've got that guy at Knock Hill on 2 degrees centigrade, Scottish Sunday, flying around the track in his GT3 RS. I've actually just looked, this is a GT2 RS, right? But you know, the story is still relevant. And then we've got the off-road one, look at this. It's a bit like a Lamborghini Huracan Staratos type job in it, but it's a Porsche 911. Mental. This is this phase where McLaren and Mercedes were doing these mad collaborations. Absolutely bonkers, look at this thing. How inconvenient the doors must be, but it's sick in it. Looks like it's got like a nose off of a jet plane on it.
I don't know, I just heard it from the guy who works here,
SLRs, 3 of them. One's not enough. It was such a weird time. I remember cars coming out on Top Gear and whatnot, and I was like, this is the strangest looking car ever, but it was a cool time in history. Right, we're just making our way through it. There's literally like more stuff than your eyes can see. Bikes all the way down here, bikes all the way down here. We can't get in there, but we're just heading through into the next bit. Wow.
That's a rare collection of rare bikes there.
Right, I'm going to need to try and get round all this stuff here. There's so much stuff. Right, we're in. I'm just going to walk along this collection of superbikes here. So we've got like Super Legeras and everything like that. The Lamborghini editions, Lamborghini ones. I can see a Huracan S2 and a Cian along there, Countach over there. So we'll get round there in a minute. But every time I walk into a new bit of the building, there's just more mad stuff. Loads of old Mercedes and everything in here. You're not allowed in here, understandably. Jaguars and Mercedes and all sorts in here. I'm just trying to get my way around the last bit here, so I've got 15 minutes left in the time slot. But there's loads of World Superbike, British Superbike cars, loads of Aston Martins here. Old Astons, man. Maserati. I see it, aye. So we've got a Pagani, like, first of all, let's address the parking, right? Let's look at this. So how they've got that in there, that's some good parallel parking. It's full exposed blue carbon. It's a Utopia, it says on the inside. Horatio Pagani is obviously his signature. I can't get close enough for you to see. I don't want to risk dropping the camera on it, but I've never seen one of them in the flesh. I'm just going to spin round all the bikes quickly. So we've got Aprilias, loads of RSV4 XEs and all competition bikes and everything. This is carnage, man. Look at these, they're all satin race bikes, pit limiters on them. These are all like brand new, and not even out the wrapper, look. They've got numbers on them, it's number 70. So we've got some Pramac Prima Ducatis here. The Martinator. For anybody that follows the MotoGP, that's Jorge Martin's stuff. The Martinator, that's him. There's loads. I'm going to say Pecco Bagnaglia's probably got a couple of bikes in here. Oh my God, man. Marco Bezzecchi's stuff, so you can see their signatures on the seats. Look at all these Ducatis, man. Look at all of this. They're just like all untouched, all the same, just sitting like. How is it possible to own this much stuff? Right, I'm just making my way to see the Lamborghini section. This is where I'll get the, excuse me, this is where I'll get the thumbnail for the video, I reckon, because I can see a Lamborghini Cian. Aye, right. Doors go up, innit? What, man? Look at the wheels, man. Looks like a Batmobile. Probably very rarely see one of them in the flesh. There's a Diablo over there and all. I bet that's a manual Murcielago. It's got to be in it. Manual. Newer tech stuff, but we've got Huracan STO. It's lovely, man. The Cian is like one of the most special edition things you'll see. It's like one of, I don't know, 60 cars or something. Look at it, man. I'm going to go right to the back. Look at the detail here with these wee wings. It actually looks like a Batmobile. The STO is lovely though, innit? Look at the hood scoop, man. Roof scoop, sorry. If I was ever able to do it, I would buy an STO. Right, before we leave, Diablo and Murcielago. Incredible, by the way. Absolutely incredible. Look at it, man. It's a 6-litre V12. So the Diablo was really before it started to really step up. So Countach, Diablo, and then it started getting up into Murcielagos and Gardos and everything. It started getting more modern, but this is like... So I've not looked inside yet, but I'm going to guess that this Murcielago is a manual, because why would they have it in a collection? It's a gated manual, as I thought. Wowza. Those wee wings there, they come up, air vents. It's a right-hand drive, so it's a European car. From, I'm going to guess, Britain then. But serious stuff, man. I don't want to go too close, but look at the gated shifter. It's massive, eh? That is incredible. Doors go up. And then obviously we can't miss out the Countach. Personally not my favourite, but I mean, it's like a masterpiece, isn't it? Look at the inside, man. You can just imagine people, rich people cutting about knees back in the day, man. Absolutely wild. It's mental to be able to just stand here next to all these things. Like, I've never in my life thought I would stand next to a gated manual Murcielago pre-LP car in Giallo yellow as well, man. I think the Diablo actually looks more modern than the Murcielago, to be honest. But it's a interesting look, the Diablo. Right, well, that's us finished, and it was incredible. Before I go to the car and summarise, I'm going to look at this though. Love it. Right, well, you always need to do your bit when there's something like that happening in Scotland. We're now going to do a bit of research and find out how it's possible somebody's got a car collection that size. But just before I shut down the video, let's have a look at the track car. Right, so that's going to conclude. I know that was just a bit of a kind of walkabout video. Tried to capture as many of the cars and things that I found interesting. So if you enjoyed it, as always, hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.